Exactly a month since the election. And a top aide to Hillary Clinton is refusing to give up her attacks on the Trump campaign. Jennifer Palmieri is stepping up her criticism on the way it was run, saying the campaign gave voice to white nationalists. In an op-ed in the Washington Post, she writes, quote, "I don't know whether the Trump campaign needed to give a platform to the white supremacists to win, but the campaign clearly did, and it had the effect of empowering the white nationalist movement. If Trump expects the Americans who did not vote for him to accept him as president, he needs to show that he accepts all of them as Americans," end quote. Judge, your thoughts?
I was sorry to see the brouhaha that they had at Harvard. I think it was a tempest in a teapot. The election is over, and everybody should move on. And as Donald Trump is showing by the people he sees daily at Trump Tower, he's attempting to put his arm around everybody, from Al Gore and Rahm Emanuel to more mainstream Republicans. If he had people support him that he would not invite to his home or whose views he would not champion, what is he supposed to say? Don't vote for me?
Interesting. You know, the term white supremacist, white nationalist brings in race here.
Yes.
Nothing about what the judge said, though, had anything to do with that. This is a political collision. Is this an attempt to make it something else?
Absolutely. I mean, this is just, they don't want to let go of the fact that Donald Trump could be this xenophobe, misogynist, all these things, regardless of the diversity in his cabinet. They continue to want to hang on to that. And I
Dr.
think
Ben Carson?
Yeah, Dr. Ben Carson. I mean, Elaine Cho, Seema Vera, is that her last name? I don't want to mispronounce her name. But no, he's got a lot of diversity, and he's doing really well. But they still want to hang on to that and say that his supporters were these people who are morons, and we know it. And I just want to finish with this because, you know, when you look at his supporters, I remember during the election they said somebody tweeted that they loved Trump and they thought that we should repeal the 17th Amendment. Women shouldn't have the right to vote. Oh. And that became a thing, right? They were going, suffragette movement, people are wearing white to the polls. Really? All people who are supporting Donald Trump think that women shouldn't have the right to vote? It's just a card that they're playing to manipulate
Well,
people.
Clearly it didn't resonate because there were a lot of women who voted for him.
I think our banner says it's best time to let it go. Jennifer Palmieri, after those remarks, she also stressed that as president-elect, thank you for this tip, everything you say matters, she's warning Donald Trump, and also urged him to reach out to voters who did not cast ballots for him.
He has reached out to voters that have not cast. I don't think he's reached out to her.
Yeah.
He hasn't reached out to her, but he certainly reached out to Rahm Emanuel and those folks. Come on.
Megan?
Yeah, I mean, listen. They are going to be remembered historically for their loss. History is going to analyze everything Jennifer Palmieri did wrong, what they missed, what a horrible candidate Hillary Clinton was, what sycophant she had surrounding her. I'm sure she's having a hard time. I said earlier in the week on the couch, these people probably aren't going to get hired to do anything interesting ever again in politics. This is the final nail in the coffin. This is
I remember that.
It's a big upset having Donald Trump win. All of that being said, you know, I think they're acting incredibly unprofessionally. They're acting like very poor losers, very sore losers. And if you want to reach out to the demographic that Donald Trump earned, this is the first way not to do it.
You know, Megan reminds me of something. Here's a very practical reason why they should not be sore losers. Because they all need jobs. They all need Democrats to hire them to run other campaigns.
But I think Megan alludes to a good point here, and that is, it isn't so much that Donald Trump's team won. It's the fact that the best in their party lost. And they shut out a portion of big voice in their party, a la Bernie Sanders. I mean, they have real problems. They've got a fire inside the House. So they've got some real problems to solve.
Forget how offensive a lot of President Obama's comments were. I'm never going to forget cling to your God and your guns ever. That's a statement that has stayed with me since he got elected. So it's not only Donald Trump who said incendiary things when he was running for president. It's easy to, you know, wash over history and forget that.
Taylor?
Oh, that's a very good point. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to add to that. I do think they're being sore losers, and I do think that they're still playing the blame game instead of looking at their party. And the more they continue to do that, the more we can have confidence that they won't win.
Let it go. Use it as an opportunity.
Does anybody except us really care what she thinks about why she lost?
You know, that's a good point. It is kind of an inside the Beltway story. I mean, does the average American care or know who Jennifer Palmieri is? But people that do what we do know. And again, she's not going to work in politics anymore. You got to find something else to do.
Yeah. Well, and the struggle back and forth as people kind of look forward to past January 20th. We know that Obamacare is one of the first things that this administration is promising to deal with. The cabinet members are being pulled together faster, I might add, historically, than someone like a Bill Clinton, who it took a very long time to pull his team together. So I think people, Megan, to your point, are more focused on less the semantics and more about the actual pieces coming in. You look like you have a thought bubble.
No, I do. No, that's just my constant look. Thought bubble.
I love that. All right.